Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. Please forgive me for not being around today. I was a little bit under the weather and I had a bad headache, so I wasn't able to um, read very much or look at any videos. Anyway, this is a video that I've made for my friend Jason, who carves wonderful things out of stone. He inspired me to make this video, and please look for his link in the description below. Firstly, Jason, I'd like to show you, this was a present that one of my friends gave me a couple of years ago. I have a lot of these in my garden. When I dig the garden, I come across all sorts of stones, different colours, and some of them inside have crystal, like amethyst and the pink crystal that you see there. We have a lot of too. It's really very mineral rich here, and this is just a small collection that I have to show you. My friend I also have here is also a man who carves beautiful things out of stone. It's a very hard stone, and I can't remember what it's called. But this he did this for me back in May, and I was absolutely amazed. It reminded me of something that I saw a while back in Peru. So many faces. You see, whichever way you look, depending on the light, he has put all these wonderful faces into it. It's fantastic. He also does figurines, and I said to him, well, I like cats. Could you one day perhaps do me a cat? And he said, well, what sort of cat would you like? And I said, well, I don't know, and perhaps an Egyptian cat. And we sort of left it at that, because I wanted to leave it up to him really to use his own artistic license. And I didn't see him for a little while because he works in the streets. He carries his work around with him in a little rucksack to make money, mainly from tourists. And so I didn't see him for a while. But that one reminded me of the rocks up in Peru. It's called Marcahuasi. Markawasi is a fantastic place. This one is a turtle. They call it the big turtle, and I thought you might like that one. But also, there's lots of faces. If you see that one on the right, there's a face of a dog. There's also a face of a woman on the right, and a baby on the left. And then the smaller one, I think they call it the frog. But it's an amazing place, and I've put a documentary link in the description below if you're interested in watching that. So anyway, a little while later, I came across my friend, and he took out of his bag this Egyptian cat which he'd made for me, and I was absolutely amazed, because this man is obviously native. He's never left the country. He's never travelled. Certainly, probably never even seen the Sphinx in Egypt. But as soon as I set eyes on it, I thought, oh my goodness, it's like the ancient Sphinx. But what amazed me the most is when you look at it from the side, it looks like a cat. But when you look at it face on, it's almost got human features. And it made me think of the time, back in 1976, I think it was, I went to Egypt and I visited Giza. I took some photos. Here's one of my old photos with some men going across with camels, and another one there of the Great Pyramid of Cheops. Of course, I also took a photograph of the Sphinx. And this has always puzzled me because for me the Sphinx just doesn't look right. The head doesn't look right to me. I always imagined it to be like a lion or a jaguar or something cat-like. And when I saw that carving that my friend had done, it really made me think, well, what on earth? Where did it come from? Because obviously he had nothing to work from other than his imagination. And I truly believe that, people like Robert Schoch and Anthony West really were onto something, with the Sphinx. I really believe that it's a lot older than the pyramids, and I do also think there's something below. There is a labyrinth of caves below which are also much older, but that's just my personal belief. And so I've done a lot of research on Egypt over the years, and recently I came across a chap called Richard Casaro, and he's actually an author of quite a few books now, I think. The first one he wrote, which I read a few years ago, is called Written in Stone, and it's fantastic. And now he's come on to study all sorts of ancient megaliths and symbolism in particular, and he's a very interesting guy. And I've also put a link into his presentation that he recently did about his new theory of what he calls triptych. And triptych is basically he's discovered that all these ancient ruins all around the world have three windows or three doors, three arches. They all seem to have this similarity, and it's very interesting because one wonders, well, how on earth did all these different civilizations know the same things? And does it come from a memory that perhaps we've all forgotten about? I don't know. I just thought it was absolutely fascinating. So if any of you are interested in it, the link is in the description below. So my thoughts on the Ice Age, I mean, they say that it ended 11,000 years ago, and they've come across, of course, Göbekli Tepe, and this is a photograph that's taken of one of the stones in Göbekli Tepe, and it fascinates me because if this wasn't the end of an ice age, why on earth have they got scorpions and lizards and birds like looks like a dodo to me, that probably wouldn't have been around because the animals that survived an ice age would have been, well, I would have thought sort of a bit furrier, and certainly not scorpions. And these bags seem to be coming up everywhere, these little bags that, of course, the Sumerians carried, handbags. But you know what? Like the triptych, these little bags are also in Venezuela, in Peru, in Mexico, in the old editions. They're everywhere. These handbags are everywhere. Is it me? Am I going crazy? Or is there something to this? And what are these handbags? I mean, were they doctors? Did they have medicine in them? Or perhaps did they carry crystals, magic crystals in them? I don't know, but just thought it was interesting. Hope it might inspire somebody to do some research and let me know. If anybody knows of any documentaries I can watch, I would love to hear about them. So there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a lovely day, and hope to see you all very soon. Bye. Bye.